So this is a quick video about things that South Africans need to do before getting to China. So I'm currently teaching English in China. I've been here for about 5 months now. So I've decided to jot down a few things that are very essential before you get a job in China. And I'll also take you through how to get a job right here in China. These are some of the things that I have done, just putting it out there as a disclaimer. These are the things that I've done, and it's my experiences. A lot of people have different experiences about how they got to China, but this is what I've done. And some of these things might have changed over some time, because I know people have mentioned before that no, you need to do this instead of that, you need to do this instead of that. But this is how I've done it. I hope that it will be very helpful to you guys as well if you want to go to China, because there has been, an exponential growth in terms of people who are moving here, who are South Africans, and who are coming here to teach English. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that you need, which is something that's looked over by people in general, it's that you need to do well in your matric. That's first. So if you are in grade 12 and you want to teach in China, you want to teach English in China, you need to do well in your matric so that you can obtain a bachelor's degree. So you need to go out with a B, basically. So yeah, that's it. That's the first point. And secondly, now you have your degree. It can be any degree for that matter. It can be English, can be science, education. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a degree and not a diploma, unfortunately. And this is very important, and I'll tell you later as to why it's very important. Okay, let me actually tell you now, but it's a point that's going to be mentioned later on. Because if you have a degree, then you qualify for a Z visa or a Z visa when you get to China, which makes it legal for you to work here as a teacher, if you get what I mean. Okay, so if you get any other visa besides a Z visa, please do not take it. If you get a job that says, oh, we will give you a Z visa when you get here, or Z visa, that's how they call it. You'll get a Z visa once you get here, so you can come here on a tourist visa. Don't take that job. Please don't do it, guys. Because recently, I read some news about a girl who's from my hometown, East London, who was 19 years old. First of all, if you're 19, it's highly unlikely, but yes, there are some cases, but it's highly unlikely that you have obtained your degree already and therefore qualify for a Z visa. So that means then that she was detained, and since November, it's now December. She's been detained for a month or just over a month because she was here on a visa that was. So yes, so I've mentioned the age, which was going to be my third point. The age is very important because of what I've just said. It means that you have obtained your degree. Yes, I know that some people studied earlier and obtained their degree and therefore can qualify to come here. But some companies or recruiters require that you at least be between the ages of 22 to 60, somewhere along those lines. It differs from one place to another. I know that when I came here, I was 22. Yes, I was 22, about to turn 23 in a few months' time. And then the fourth thing, so I mentioned the matric certificate, your degree, and your age. So the fourth thing is your TEFL. So a TEFL is a certificate that allows you to teach English. So it's a teaching English as a foreign language certificate. Now, you get your TEFL if you have a teacher's education degree. Yes, a B.Ed. If you have that, then kudos to you. You don't need a TEFL. But if you don't have that, as I've mentioned before, if you have any other degree, it's okay for you to come teach here, but you will also need a TEFL. Okay, it allows you to be an English second language teacher, ESL teacher, which is what I am right now. How do you get your TEFL is very important. I did mine through TEFL PDI at first because I was working for an online teaching company, and when that was when I was a student. So when they took us in, they weren't so fancy and wanting TEFLs and stuff. Um, it was a company in Cape Town, and all you needed was just for you to have graduated or working towards obtaining your degree. And at that time I was in my final year at university. I remember it was a company that was in Valpo. So I did that. They gave us a free online course. Yes, that's the main thing. It was a free online course with TEFL PDI. But the catch with that is that when we've completed the course, you're given an e-certificate. So you don't get a hard copy. You have to pay in order to get the hard copy. I think it's a company from the UK, TEFL PDI. You have to pay about $1,000 according to my research. And then yeah, that's what happened. I didn't end up getting the e-certificate because the same time, yeah, the following year after I had completed my TEFL, I was doing my honors, and I had to start over with the whole process of applying because I had already started applying, and I've already had all my documents, my degree, my TEFL, and what else? My criminal record, which is something I'm going to get to now. But then I got robbed and I lost all those documents. I had to redo everything again. Lost my laptop. They took away, my degree. I don't know what they're going to do with my degree because nobody else can use it but me. But anyway, I had to redo the TEFL again with the company I'm with now. So that was also free for me. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I don't know the prices that well, but I can help you in terms of like directing you to places that where you can obtain a TEFL. One of those places is I2I, as an I to I. Okay. I'm not sure what the prices are there, so please do a bit of research. And another place is the one that I've mentioned, TEFL PDI. It's an online course. Eye to eye is face to face. It's I think it's an actual, you have to go to class type of thing. And what's the other place? Oh, Daddy's Deals. Yes, I think a few people have mentioned Daddy's Deals, that you can get a TEFL there, and if you are lucky, you can get a TEFL there you can get deals for about 500 rands to 2,000 rands. So try your luck and see where you can get it. So that was the TEFL. So after you get your TEFL, you need to have a police clearance. So a police clearance is basically a criminal record check. You go to any police station near you, they take your fingerprints, and you have to send those to Pretoria. Okay, so they give you the address where you need to send it. So you have to after you've taken your fingerprints, you take that to the post office, and there you need to get 2 envelopes, but the person who helps you is going to explain it to you at the police station. You need 2 envelopes, and the one is for you to send the fingerprints, the one is what you receive your certificate with. Because after you send your fingerprints to Pretoria, you receive a certificate that will be your criminal record check. Yeah, you get what I mean. The certificate. And yeah, police clearance. And then a medical examination. So now you need to get a form. I don't know if I can attach the form here. A form that is that has all the things that you need to test for, all the things that your doctor needs to examine on you before you go to China. Just a little side note before I get into detail about that. I did not vaccinate, but if you want to vaccinate, you definitely can, because I thought, you know what, my immune system is the shit and the urine. But anyway, sorry about that. I thought my immune system was, okay, whatever, I can do this, I'm a girl. But if you want to do it, by all means, get vaccinated. Yeah. So your doctor tests for all those things, and I'm not on medical aid, so I had to pay. So I can't give you. Um, how much was it? Wait, let me just try to think. I had to pay for the consultation fee, which is around 500 to 600 rands, and I had to pay. I think they do PT scan, PET scan. I don't know. I don't remember, but they do something to you. And then my doctor was like, "No, I can't do the blood tests. You will need to go to a private institution." I forgot the name of the place where you get your blood tests done. So I did that, and I had to pay money there as well. Um, yeah, that was it with the medical examination, and then you put that aside. So after you get that, you're still waiting for your certificate, your police clearance certificate to come through. So they're gonna receive it with the second envelope. Remember, I mentioned you have 2 envelopes that you get at the post office. So you're gonna receive that after about 2 or 3 weeks. It usually doesn't take too long. So I hope you are not in a hurry to come to China. So after that, you need to notarize your degree with the Department of Higher Education, DHET, and Training, which is also in Pretoria. And when you receive your police clearance, I'm not so sure if I had to then again send it to Pretoria to get notarized as well with the SAPS, but I don't think I had to. But one thing that I am certain about is that you have to get your degree notarized. So it will be very helpful, guys, if you have somebody that's in Pretoria who can, transport you, like take you back and forth, because most of these places are in Pretoria or Joburg. So for me, it was my sister and my boyfriend who could, avail themselves to take me back and forth, because I'm a very hands-on person. I prefer doing everything by myself. But there are agencies out there who are able to help you, who can do everything for you if you want, somebody to do the things for you. But you can also just mail the things, which is another easy option. But I was just paranoid, maybe they get lost or whatever. So that's why I did everything by myself. And you notarize a degree, and then you have to authenticate it. Now, this is done at DIRCO, Department of International Relations and Cooperation, or something like that. So at DIRCO, you need to go and give them your degree that has been to the Department of Higher Education and Training, and you need to give them your police clearance certificate. So they will take about a week or 2 again to notarize your stuff. And do you have to pay? Why don't I remember? I think you have to just pay a smaller nyana fee. It's nothing much. Maybe $200 again, 2 or 3. I don't know. I forgot. Once that is done, you need to apply for a job. So now you're ready to apply for a job. That's how I did it. You can apply for a job first and do all of these things, in reverse as opposed to what I've done. But I did everything first, and then I lost it, obviously, when I got dropped. Then I had to do it again, which was easy this time around, but it cost more. You get a job. Oh, before you do that, you get your passport. Make sure that you get your passport. So that is 400 rands when you do it the first time, but I had to do it again because situation. I had all my documents with me when I got robbed, because I was still in the process of applying and trying to get everything. So, I was robbed the day before my second graduation, guys. Can you believe it? Before my honors graduation. So I had to use my honors degree in order to apply for the job, which sucks. So for the second time around, if you lose your passport, you need to pay 800 rands. So for the first time, it's 400 rands. Second time, it's 800 rands. So please keep your passport safe. And then, you try and get a job. Where can you get a job? I'm sorry, this is a fully loaded a video, and I'm trying to be as detailed as possible. So where can you get a job? Again, Daddy's Deals, I think. I got my job at EF. I worked for EF. I applied online, and I waited and I waited and I waited, and they didn't, take me, and applied again and again, I think. And I got another job at another school. Excuse me. I got another job at another school, but it was like, I'm not so sure about you guys. And I didn't expect EF to take me. They just gave me the job. And fortunately for me, I had some experience in terms of, I was an online tutor, and I had, I did a lot of voluntary work when I was a student, and one of those things was, being a tutor for an NGO, Education Without Limits. Yes, kudos to them. Those guys are doing a good job. Real Bonds, Eliam, they're all doing such a good job helping kids in underprivileged communities in Cape Town. So I did that with them, and after some time, I had to stop because I had to move to Stellenbosch. But yeah, so what did I tell you this guy name? Ishimina. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, that's the bit of experience that I had. I think I was talking about that. So anyway, now you get the job, and then your school, or I don't know if recruitment agencies also do this. They have to send you an invitation letter, which is just to say, oh, we want to come and work in China, blah blah blah. It's basically all in Chinese. I'm joking. There's some English in there as well, so you can read through the document yourself. And you need to take that invitation letter to the Chinese embassy. I think there's one in Cape Town and one in Joburg or Pretoria. I'm sorry, I can't tell the difference between an embassy and the consulate. So now I just went to all these places, the consulate of China or embassy. But it's basically the same thing. There's 3 of them that I'm sure of. There's one in, because I think they've shut down the one in Durban. There's one in Cape Town. There's one in Pretoria. There's one in Sandton. So the one in Sandton, that's where I got my visa. Because when you get the invitation letter from the school, you then take that as well. And maybe all of your documents, just to be on the safe side and make sure that you don't leave anything behind. You take that and you get to the consulate of China or the embassy. I think it's one of those 2 words, guys. I'm sorry. But it's in Sandton. I'm sure about that. You apply for your Z visa. Do not. Oh my goodness. I cannot stress this enough, guys. There's so many horror stories out here about specifically South Africans. And somebody asked a very important question, Goti. Why is it always South Africans that are being scammed? You will get scammed, guys. Dearly. You cannot come here to China if you don't have a Z visa. Yes, you can, but it's illegal. So please don't try doing it and think about you can, bypass it. Guys, I don't know. I can't stress this enough. I was so worried when I read about this girl who's from East London, a 19-year-old who was here. Obviously, if you're 19, I mean, really, you're still young. You're still a bit young to get a degree. So guys, Amy, don't do these things, because Chinese people don't play with the law. They don't play. So don't do it. Just don't do it. And really, when somebody asked Goti, why? Because it was in a group that I'm part of, a WeChat group that I'm part of, because WeChat is more popular than WhatsApp here. So anyway, I'll try and tell you all guys all about what's popular, what isn't, all my experiences in China in another video, because this is another type of video. But basically, this person in the group was like, why is it only South Africans? And that struck me. That really struck me, because just a few months ago, more than 50 people from South Africa were scammed. Now, again, another lady. Guys, I hope this information, you will take it into consideration. And even if you tell other people about it. That is very important. What do they know? Okay, because it gets scary for us and our families and our friends. Because I usually get people whenever they hear these things. My sister, my family, my friends, they're always like, "Oh, are you sure? Are you sure? It's a good job. It's a legit job, and you won't get scammed." And I'm like, relax. It's okay. I'm fine now. I'm on the safe side. I've done things the right way. I did them twice. I did everything twice, so I'm good. So you get your visa and then you can move to China. All right, but it doesn't end there. When you get here, some schools require that you do your medical examination over again, but they do it for you. You don't have to pay for that. The school does it, and you have to go to the police, blah 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 blah. That the school does it for you, and then after 30 days, remember your visa, your work visa or Z visa. Um, Let me just throw in something else in there. For now, guys, I've never been outside of South Africa, so I thought a visa is a piece of paper, like A4 paper, but it turns out it's a little sticker, like it's about the size of the palm of my hand that they stick on your passport. So after 30 days, that visa expires. So before the 30th day mark, the school needs to take you to get a residence permit. English. They need to get a residence permit for you. But if they don't do that, my sister, my brother, run. Okay, like, or pester them to give you to help you get the residence permit, because that's what's gonna allow you to get multiple entrances into the country, and it ensures that you are a legit person working here. So yeah, I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Let me end this video right here. If you have any more questions, please do send the question. Yes, actually, that's the right word. Send the questions to me on Instagram at LumaGangs, or just comment here in the comment section below, and I will try by all means to answer you guys when I have time. I have to go to work now and teach some kids some English. Bye.